Are dating rules actually helping relationships or quietly destroying them? Because for years, millions of people have followed advice about love, attraction, and commitment like it's a formula. But what if that formula is the reason so many relationships still fail? And at the center of that debate is Steve Harvey, a man whose relationship advice shaped modern dating conversations more than almost anyone in pop culture. But the question remains, did his advice help people find love or make love more complicated than it already is? When Steve Harvey released his famous relationship book, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, it didn't just become a bestseller. It became a cultural conversation. Suddenly, dating advice wasn't just something shared between friends or learned through experience. It became structured, categorized, explained like a system. The book introduced ideas about how men think, how women should respond, and how relationships could be managed more strategically. For many readers, it was refreshing. It felt like clarity in a confusing dating world. But for others, it felt like oversimplification of something deeply emotional. And that disagreement is where the controversy began. Dating rules always sound good in theory. Set boundaries. Know your worth. Understand behavior patterns. But real relationships are not theory. They are unpredictable, emotional, messy, and constantly changing. As Steve Harvey's advice spread through interviews, shows, and public discussions, people began applying those rules to real relationships. And that's where complications started. Because relationships are not math problems, and people are not predictable patterns. What works for one situation may fail completely in another, and that contradiction created a divide. Some people believed the rules were empowering. Others believed they were limiting genuine connection. As social media grew, so did criticism of structured dating advice. Younger audiences especially began questioning whether rigid rules actually help people connect or create unnecessary pressure. Some critics argued that advice like this can lead people to overthink relationships, misinterpret natural behavior, or reject genuine connections too early. Others defended the approach, saying it helped people avoid toxic patterns and set higher standards. And in the middle of that debate stood Steve Harvey as the face of modern relationship guidance. Not because he created all dating advice, but because his message became one of the most widely shared frameworks in pop culture. And when something becomes that popular, it also becomes heavily criticized. At the heart of this controversy is a deeper emotional question. Do dating rules create control or clarity? Supporters believe rules help people avoid emotional chaos. They argue that structure protects self-worth and prevents manipulation. But critics argue the opposite. They say too many rules can block natural connection, that people begin to play roles instead of being authentic. And when that happens, relationships stop being real and start becoming strategic. This is where modern dating becomes complicated, because people are no longer just looking for love. They are also looking for security, validation, and emotional protection. And sometimes those needs conflict with each other. The reason this conversation keeps coming back is simple. There is no universal formula for relationships. What works for one person may not work for another. What protects one relationship may damage another. And that uncertainty makes people search for structure. That's why advice like Steve Harvey's became so influential. It gave people something to hold on to in a confusing dating world. But over time, the same structure that provided clarity also became a source of criticism. Because modern relationships are evolving faster than traditional advice can keep up with. People are dating differently, communicating differently, and defining love in more flexible ways than before. So the question becomes, are we trying to understand love or control it? One of the most interesting effects of popular dating advice is how it shapes identity. People don't just follow the advice. They start to become it. They label themselves as high value, low value, avoidant, secure, or toxic based on simplified frameworks. And while these ideas can be helpful in moderation, they can also become limiting. Because real human behavior is not fixed. It changes with experience, healing, and growth. And that's something no rulebook can fully capture. So here's the real question. Do dating rules actually help people build better relationships? Or do they create expectations that make real love harder to find? And more importantly, should love be guided by rules or understood through experience? And what most people don't realize is that this debate is still shaping how people date today. From social media advice to relationship podcasts, the influence of structured dating rules is everywhere. And in the next video, we'll break down another celebrity relationship controversy that shows just how complicated modern love becomes when advice, emotions, and reality collide. Because in dating, the hardest thing isn't finding rules. It's knowing when to ignore them.